In a world divided in two, this story begins. High up in the sky stands the White Kingdom, bathed in light. Below lies the Black Kingdom, shrouded in darkness. Life in these two regions is like day and night. Above, the inhabitants of the kingdom live in peace and are protected. Below, the people struggle to survive, surrounded by monsters of darkness ready to pounce. No wonder many people yearn for life up there. Meanwhile, in the White Kingdom, the Dark region is considered a threat. The Dark King is known for his brutality, constantly launching attacks without stopping. One day, a village in the Black Kingdom is attacked by monsters of darkness. A teenage boy tries to protect the children, but in vain. To save them, a child volunteers to be bait and is killed by the monster. The young man's heart is broken. The village is destroyed. All its inhabitants are killed. He is the only survivor. In the pouring rain, he digs a hole to bury the victims. Suddenly, a warrior appears. Seeing the young man's pitiful state, he asks what he is doing. With a trembling voice, the young man replies, "I'm digging a hole for those who have been killed by the monster." The warrior is touched. He stops the young man and gives him food so he doesn't get sick. The warrior who met the young man is named Skiers. When he asks the young man's name, the young man does not answer him. The reason is because so far everyone has called him whatever they want, or you could say he doesn't have a name. The young man just focused on digging holes non-stop. Skiers gives the young man a sword in the hope that he will stop digging holes and find a new purpose in life. They then fight in a sword duel. After seeing the potential and listening to the young man's big dreams, Skiers bequeaths his sword and tells him to go to the capital. Skiers then reveals that he is the Dark Prince, the successor to the Dark King. This is where the nameless young man's journey to becoming the Dark Prince begins. Meanwhile, in the White Kingdom, the Light Queen named Iris and her forces battle the monsters of darkness. For now, they have managed to repel all threats, but Iris is worried that if one day her abilities are no longer enough to do so. She could sense that the Dark King's power was growing. In another place, the prince meets a guy named Valus. Valus attacks the prince because he thinks he stole the sword from Skiers. However, after the prince introduces himself, Valus agrees to be his loyal servant. Valus is tasked with serving the king and his successor. Meanwhile, Queen Iris faces the ancestor of light again. At the same time, the White Kingdom is attacked by darkness again. This time, the attack is different from before. In addition to being attacked by a bunch of ferocious monsters, there is also a strong monster that has a mind. They attacked in an orderly manner, causing part of the White Kingdom to be controlled by the enemy. Before the situation worsens, Iris immediately comes to the battlefield. By borrowing power from the ancestor of light, she fights with all her might. However, normal attacks are not enough to defeat the monster. In the end, the monster retreats because it finds no equal opponent. The commander of the kingdom's knights faces the forces of darkness, whose members are humans. At first, they declare to surrender, but suddenly turn into monsters. In this situation, Iris can only help those who are still alive. In the Palace of Darkness, someone thinks that the attack is useless because only the troops are sacrificed. Shortly after the king arrives, the man is destroyed. Although he is intangible, the Dark King does not want anyone to disobey his orders. Everyone must obey him until the whole world is shrouded in darkness. After Valus meets the Dark King, the prince asks him to teach him swordsmanship. The prince says that he will not be able to become king if he cannot defeat him. At that time, Valus did not obey the request. According to him, learning a lot is necessary to rule the kingdom rather than practicing to fight. He prefers to give him the basic knowledge of being a king. In addition, the prince is not the only one who is eyeing the position of king. There are many among the knights who want to be the successor to the king. Therefore, he must be more serious. The prince not only needs to be strong in battle, but also have the dignity and knowledge necessary. The prince's combat skills and knowledge slowly begin to improve. When someone is in danger, he is already able to save them. A woman named Groza becomes the first stranger to acknowledge him as a prince. Since the first time they met, she seemed to like him. Groza wants the prince to compete with other participants to get the Black Sword. This is all needed for the prince to get the title of True Dark Knight. At the White Kingdom Castle, Queen Iris recalls the previous attack. When Iris was not yet a queen, the dark light had often attacked her. However, because she always thought about the most important thing, her view of the world slowly began to change. The Queen of Light needs someone to fight with her, even though that person comes from the dark region. To get the black sword, the prince gathers with all the candidates for the successor to the king. They have to show their abilities, starting from fighting monsters to dueling. For the 2 remaining participants, whoever survives will be the winner and declared worthy of being the next king. Soon after, the competition begins. All medium-sized monsters are released. The participants start attacking the monster. When everyone attacks, the prince just stays in the back. At that time, he remembers the massacre in his hometown. However, when a monster approaches, he can easily defeat it. Among them, no one had any trouble launching their attacks. However, there is a magic user whose attack doesn't work. Everyone thought he would die soon. That's when the prince came to save him. Then, when the other participants questioned his actions, a much stronger monster appeared. As a result, only the prince and the participant named Adele managed to survive. As one of the surviving participants, the prince faces Adele. At first, their abilities seem evenly matched. However, the prince managed to knock down Adele's weapon, so she couldn't attack for a while. However, that opportunity didn't last long. Adele took back her weapon with the intention of attacking again. In fact, he could have just killed her and become the winner right away. In the end, the prince became the main successor to the king because Adele admitted defeat. After finishing the competition, they were given the task of delivering a letter to the White Kingdom. The main and second successors must deliver it directly using an airplane. The prince and Adele head to the White Kingdom. On the way, the prince is silent. Adele suggests that she replace him as the envoy, while the prince pretends to be her guard. The reason is, he can't let Adele be in danger. After arriving, the prince and Adele are immediately suspected by the knights. Although their arrival was announced, they were initially not allowed to enter the White Kingdom territory. Thanks to Adele, who managed to convince the knights, the prince was finally able to meet the Queen of Light. The purpose of the meeting is to form an alliance to defeat the intelligent monster. Regarding this, the queen asks for time to decide. She believes that there is no guarantee after the alliance is formed. Maybe the Dark King will target her again. At night, Adele comments on the prince's behavior. She says that clearing the prince's name is quite tiring. In addition, she also feels that the people in the White Kingdom are stubborn and think that the Queen of Light intends to take advantage of the war. The next day, they meet the queen again. Although the prince pretends to be an ordinary person, before forming an alliance, the Queen of Light asks him something. The prince's answer makes the queen agree to form an alliance. Even though the ceasefire has been formalized and the Dark Envoy doesn't look evil, the prince and Adele are still treated like hostages. The knight commander named Fios decided to guard the palace. Meanwhile, in the Dark Territory, all the troops are preparing to fight the intelligent monster. The battle begins with an attack from Valas, while Groza attacks from a distance. However, no matter how many attacks are launched, it doesn't seem to work. The monster also has the ability to stop someone's movement, causing many dark troops to be defeated. That's when the Queen of Light starts to act. She comes to fulfill her obligation after forming an alliance. With the power of light, the Dark King can easily defeat the intelligent monster. However, at that time he did not kill him because he seemed to have a plan to use him in the future. After the fight is over, Iris can only be silent and return to the White Kingdom. In the White Kingdom, Adele and the prince meet the palace wizard named Sima. Soon after, the prince sees Iris flying in the sky. The prince rushes to meet her because Iris looks abnormal. Although she managed to fulfill the terms of the alliance, it seems like she used too much power, so it's not good for her physical condition. The prince is concerned about the situation. He even asks about the condition of the Queen of Light as an unimportant person. That was none of his business, and his question made the knights a little angry. Anyway, the knight said that the Queen of Light must recover soon. In addition, because the intelligent monster has been defeated, the prince's job should be done. They will say goodbye to the Queen of Light and return to land. But before that happens, Valas gives another letter to be delivered to the White Kingdom. Even though she just fought the intelligent monster, Groza doesn't have a chance to rest. She is actually happy to be able to meet the prince again. Soon after, Groza arrives in the White Kingdom. When the prince meets the Queen of Light, he delivers a letter from the Dark King. After the letter is opened, it turns out that the Dark King asks for an extension of the peace until the damage caused by the intelligent monster is repaired. Iris accepts the proposal. She asks her subordinates to prepare a reply letter. Meanwhile, Iris will help the envoys to tour the White Kingdom so they can enjoy their last day with ease. While touring, it seems that the differences between the two kingdoms are no longer an issue. They accept each other's strengths and weaknesses. As a symbol of friendship, they exchange clothes. Groza is very happy to spend time like that. It rarely happens. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, and see you on the next video. Love you guys.